sometimes God speaks by saying nothing. Two, it's that silence of God that's equally as powerful as those one or two word sentences. Also, it's the yes, it's that you're asking God for this, and God is like, well, He ain't answered. Maybe He's telling me not to do it. And it could be a little bit of flesh and gut, but it also could be God. So but if you're constantly in relationship, you're constantly consecrating yourself, how you're starting your mornings, how you're ending your evenings. So if you don't necessarily hear from God, you know God's voice. You're just fine tuning your ear to kind of know it's Him. But when it's Him, I know it.
The point about like silence, and then when that's where God kind of speaks the most, is that was a bar. But you kind of talk about just kind of like how important that is.
Yeah. So think about just the stillness and the knowing. I talked about earlier about my garden, right? And so right now it looks dead, and I am like the star yard on the block, right? And so I'm talking to my nursery in the garden. I said, everything's dead right now. He said, this is a time it's supposed to be dormant. He said, but what you can't see is what's going on under the ground. He said the roots are still healthy. He said they're getting ready for their big debut, but you got to leave it alone. And I was like, that's what God is doing. He is saying, leave it alone, right? And He said, in a week or two, it's going to blow your mind. He said, they're going to grow faster, stronger, and taller than they did last year. I said, no, it's no way. He said, trust me. He said, he's like, pretty much like, this is what I do. God is like, this is what I do. Trust me.
I do this.
I know. I do it. He said, I do the garden. He said, you might do the art, but I do the garden. I know for a fact. He said, I've been doing this for years. I'm like, no. He said, did you bother the roots? I said, no. He said, but did you touch the roots? I said, no. He said, you touched the roots? I said, no, I didn't touch the roots yet. He said, put the soil down, but don't touch what's under it. He said, you can put your fresh soil down, put down your mulch, whatever. He said, but it's going to blow your mind what's going to happen. And why is it going to rain all next week? Looking at the forecast. So God is literally like, don't touch that earth. I got it. Right? And so it's silent right now. And I've been learning over and over again that my level of patience is not where it needs to be for the level that I'm asking to get to. So God is constantly teaching me lessons in every aspect of life. Whether it's I'm driving too fast, slow down. Whether I lose my debit card, you need to slow down. Whether my phone cracks, all these things happen, by the way. So phone cracks, slow down. And so God is like, just slow down. Like I could make up all the time you lost within a day. Like all the years